Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Wednesday show. Maybe anyone's out there? I don't know if you can hear me or if you're even there. We are going to be coming to you and doing a bracket series tonight. We're going to be going through for about half an hour tonight. As soon as we get some people on here, right now we got no one watching, it says. Oh, there we go. Now it's popping up. Numbers are popping up. So maybe it's going to go up a little bit here. But yeah, tonight we're going to be doing a bracket series. We're going to continue our bracket series that we've been doing over the last few weeks now. We're going to probably get through. We might get through. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't know if we'll get through all of them, but we'll try. We have 8 more rounds through our first, or 8 more matchups in our first round before we move on to our second round of competition. So we might be able to get through and have it so we get through that tonight. But we will see. Hello, Frank fam. Do we only have one member of the Frank fam right now, or is there going to be a battle royale in the Frank fam household tonight? Because it is a bracket night, so you never know. This is the episode where families fall apart, thanks to Brent Dutch. All right, we'll give people a few more minutes here to pop on. Hello, hey Candace, how you doing? Good evening. Hello, Christine, how are you doing today? A few more coming. Excellent. Let the party begin. Ain't no party like a Frank fan party, because a Frank fan party starts now. What? Yeah, so we'll get this started in just a minute here. We'll just let a few more people hop on here. I am in home up in Wisconsin right now, so we are going to be doing a shorter episode, probably about 30 minutes tonight, opposed to our regular longer episodes. But I figured we have been going pretty strong here with the bracket series, so we may as well continue our bracket series here. So while we let people hop on here, we're going to start the 767th episode of the Wednesday show in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 767th episode of the Wednesday show. Today is May 1st, 2024, and I'm your host, as always, Brent Dutch. Hello. Today, we're going to be continuing doing our bracket series where you are going to be trying to figure out what you think the best Disney thing is. We've been going through this over the last few weeks, and we've got a lot more coming up here. So if you want your thing to win, send your friends over so that way you have more support as you go through and do your votes. But before we get to that, let's talk about our news for the week. All right, so first bit of news, we are going to be coming back with our Saturday in the Park. If you didn't already know, every single Saturday we do a broadcast from someplace found throughout the Walt Disney World Resort. You never know where we're going to be, but I promise you we will always be coming to you from Walt Disney World. This coming up Saturday, I will tell you we are going to be going over to Disney's Hollywood Studios because it is May the 4th, as in May the 4th be with you. So, of course, we will have to go over there and see if there's anything special going on for the Star Wars festivities. So make sure you join us at 1 o'clock Eastern Time over on my YouTube channel to join us for that broadcast. And also, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our... Oh, wait, no. Before we get to the sponsors, we also have to do our other thing. As always, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe. If we go through and get more subscribers as the night goes on here, we will go into a few extra innings. Like I said, I am at home right now, visiting my family. So the thing will probably not go into too many extra innings, but we might go into an extra round or two. So if we go up from our starting point, which is going to be 4,470, we will go into extra innings there as well. Also, this might go down because I just had a video, my short from today, like went crazy. It got like 6,000 or 9,000. How many views did it get? It got like 9,000 views in like 20 minutes. And there you go, 9,468 views. And literally, that was the last hour. So because of that, there's a pretty good chance that we probably will be losing subscribers as we go through here because that's just how the algorithm works sometimes. And of course, as always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. Patreon pals. They'll be there with. If you're a Patreon pal, give me an oh yeah in the chat room. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get to it. So tonight we're going to be continuing our bracket series. If you've never joined us for the bracket series, what we did was a few weeks ago, I had you out there choose 64 different Disney things. And we are going through and having it so those 64 things are going head-to-head in different rounds until we figure out what the greatest Disney thing of all time is. This time around, we sorted them up into 4 different categories. We had theme park attractions. Wait a minute. Let me look through my stuff here because we had miscellaneous theme park attractions, characters, and movies. So what we're going to do is we have been going through and had things like Little Mermaid versus Mary Poppins. Of course, Mary Poppins won. Candle Shoot versus Finding Nemo won, etc., etc., etc. And tonight we're going to be continuing that. We still have 4 movies left in the first round, 4 characters, 4 attractions, and 4 miscellaneous items, which is going to bring us to our very first matchup of the night. We're going to start off with movies. I need 2 numbers in the chat room between 1 and 4. Throw them in there. The first 2 that pop up will be the 2 numbers that are going to be going head-to-head against one another. So 2 numbers between 1 and 4. First 2 to pop up are going to be our competition. 1 and 3 are going to be the first 2 that popped up, which is going to bring us to our first. This is a good lineup. This is actually a great lineup. I've heard about a few different matchups with Disney in the past where people have said things like, if these 2 movies were compared head to head, then obviously this one's better. Then people argue about a different one. One of those movies is in there because people usually complain about or try to put up against Frozen and Tangled. And one of the movies is going to be one of the ones that we're going to be talking about right now, which of course is Frozen. Let it go. Let it go. That's her icy powers. So if you've never seen Frozen, and I'd be shocked if you didn't, it came out back in 2013 and tells the story of 2 sisters, Anna and Elsa. Elsa has magical icy powers, and she can turn things into snow and ice. Snow and ice. Snow and ice. That's just like the Cinderella castle show for when they change it into the Frozen magical wonderland. But Elsa has magical powers, and she hits Elsa hits Anna as a child, and they erase the memories of Anna, and they grow up completely separated from each other, even though they live in the same castle. As years go by, eventually Elsa reveals her powers because, of course, Anna meets a man that she just met, and she wants to marry him. And when that happens, Elsa has icy powers. She runs off to her own castle, sings "Let It Go," and we all absolutely fall in love with the song, and everyone hears about it for about 6 months. And it was crazy. For those 6 months, all you heard was "Let It Go," no matter where you went in life. But going on the other side of the thing is another princess film, and probably one of the most beloved princess films of all time. Because back in 1991, we had it so maybe a beast could learn how to love. Beauty and the Beast. So back in 1991, we had Beauty and the Beast, which tells the story about a beast who was put under an enchanted spell, which turns him into a beast. He was actually a prince, but he was selfish and unkind. And an old beggar woman transforms him and the entire castle into inanimate objects, and Belle has to come around and try to save the day. Along the way, we have several other characters like Gaston, LeFou, Maurice, Philippe, and hundreds of others. There's so many different characters in Beauty and the Beast, and we absolutely love them all. In addition to that, we also have classic songs like Beauty and the Beast, Little Town, What a Quiet Village, Every Day Like the One Before. But now it's up to you guys to figure out which one is moving on to the next round. Is it going to be Frozen or Beauty and the Beast? You guys have about 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments starting right now. This is a tough matchup, honestly. I think I know which one I would vote for. However, this one actually would be a more. I can see there's so many people who absolutely love Beauty and the Beast. I personally love Beauty and the Beast. There's so many people who love Frozen. I personally love Frozen. So I think this one would be a more difficult one for people to try to figure out which one they would vote for. But at the same time, I kind of feel like we might have a clear winner. And now I'm looking at the votes, and we do definitely have a clear winner so far. But you guys still have about a minute left to vote. So we will find out who wins this round and moves on to the next round. Both of these movies, if you are around my age or older, you probably remember the crazy storm that Beauty and the Beast took the world by. Like, it was just absolutely insane how many people absolutely fell in love with that movie back in 1991. And then here we have, 22 years later, we have another film that completely took the world by storm in Frozen as well. And that is going to bring us to our votes for our first round here. Our first vote is Beauty and the Beast. That's 1 for Beauty and the Beast. That is 2 for Beauty and the Beast. 2-1, 3-1 Beauty and the Beast. 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 6-2. Wait. I missed 1, 2, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3. Beauty and the Beast is going to be waltzing into round 2. And unfortunately for Frozen, it is going to be frozen in time because it ends its journey right here. That's going to bring us into our next category. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 4 for our character round to figure out what is going to be going head to head in our next round here. First 2 numbers to pop up in the chat room are going to be the ones that we move on into our next round. This is going to be for characters number 1 through 4. First one that pops up is number 1. What's going to be our next one here? And number 2. 1 and 2 are going to be going up head to head against one another. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be kind of an interesting one here. So when we did the character round, we had a few exceptions where characters could be consisted of more than one character as long as they were actually a group of characters, which is going to be our first group of characters that we're going to talk about here. And that is going to be with 3 caballeros, 3 gay caballeros. They say we are birds of a feather. The 3 caballeros consist of 3 characters: Donald Duck, Jose, and Panchito Pistoles. These 3 characters originally made their debut together in the 3 caballeros. Of course, Donald Duck made his debut back in 1934 in The Wise Little Hen. And of course, we would also have it so Jose would star in other films as well, like Saludos Amigos, and he also made appearances in Make My Music. Now, when the 3 of them came together, they created a truly dynamic trio. I was going to say duo, a truly dynamic trio. And the 3 of them would go on crazy adventures together, not just in the 3 Caballeros film, but also they had their own comic book line for a while there as well. They, of course, can also be found over at the Grand Fiesta Tour at the Mexico Pavilion. And that's about all we're going to say about the 3 Caballeros for now. Remember, this is about the characters and not about the movie. So we are based on the 3 characters who all have great personalities. They always have a good time. But going up against them is, ironically, the shirt I'm wearing right now, Stitch, Experiment 626. Stitch originally debuted in the film Lilo and Stitch, which came out back in 2002. And when that originally came out, Stitch, of course, took the world by storm. He was an Experiment 626. He was designed for pretty much complete destruction of everything. But of course, Lilo teaches him how to love. Now, when this would happen, Stitch would eventually become a massive superstar. He got another film, Stitch Has a Glitch. Stitch, the movie. And then we had Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch. Then we also had Lilo and Stitch television series. And then he also had the attraction over at the Magic Kingdom. Hands down my least favorite attraction that Disney's ever created. But there's been so many variations of Stitch. But we are mainly looking at not the films, but we're looking at the character who originally started off as a monster of destruction and then turned into a monster of stealing our hearts. And that is going to bring us to our next vote, which is going to be either the 3 Caballeros or Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. You have 90 seconds to throw your votes into the comments, starting right now. I feel like this is going to be a runaway, but at the same time, I don't want it to be a runaway because the one that I think it's going to run away, I think it's not the one that I want to win. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a runaway. I love Stitch. I love the 3 Caballeros. I think they are both great in their own way, shape, and form. And I can see why some people would vote for one and not the other one. So no matter what happens, I'm going to be happy with whoever wins this round. But at the same time, this would be a very difficult one for me if I came down to, if I was the person who ended up being the tiebreaker, it would be pretty awful. Really, really, really awful, actually. Because I know that there would be a mob of people with 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 Coda's head on a pole coming after me. Because I killed him twice. You guys remember that? I do. Okay, you guys have about 10 seconds left to throw your votes in there. If we have any last votes coming in, throw them in here. We might be able to get through all 8 of our categories here tonight. We will see, though. Okay, you guys have about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get to our votes here. We got one vote for Stitch with the Stitch all the way. Stitch 626. That's for Stitch as well. That's 3 for Stitch, 4 for Stitch, 5 for Stitch. We have a 5-1 vote, 6-1, 6-2, and that it's still the same vote. So 6-2 vote. With Stitch is going to be moving on. I personally would have voted for the 3 Caballeros, but at the same time, I do enjoy Stitch. Fun fact, when I did my first semester of college, my dorm room was 626, and it was literally a few months after the movie came out, and I bought a poster of Stitch. I don't think I have it. Might be in this room, actually. I bought a poster of Stitch, and on it said Experiment 626, and I didn't even put together the fact that my room number was the same as Experiment 626 until my roommate, who I despised, pointed it out to me. And yeah, and then I have lived in other places. There was another place that had 626 as well. But yeah, my first dorm room, though, was 626. Okay, we are moving on to the attractions category. I need 2 numbers between 1 and 4. First 2 to pop up in the comments will be the one that does it. By the way, like I said, it probably will drop down. We just lost 1 subscriber. Okay, our first ones to pop up was number 4 and number 3. Not only did 1 person vote for 3, 2 people voted for 3. 3 voted. There's a lot of 3s. All right, so we are going 4 against 3 for our next matchup here. And our next matchup is going to be, wait a minute. Oh, this is going to be a really weird one. They both have very long titles, as you can just tell, because I just spent forever typing both those things out. Okay, this is going to be a really weird one because these are 2 attractions that are both fairly new attractions, and they are both popular attractions in their own way, shape, and form. So let's find out. I really don't know which one's going to move on. I know which one I would vote for, but I don't know which one's going to move on. Okay, let's start off with the newest one. So just last year, I did my preview in February, then it was March, and then it was April was when it finally opened up. Last April, we got a brand new attraction called Tron Light Cycle Run over at the Magic Kingdom. It became the fastest attraction found inside the Magic Kingdom, where guests are entered in or are invited to come into the grid while going on their own light cycle bike. Really, really cool concept. You go from a launching position into the grid where you have to go through 6 different energy points to go and try to beat Team Orange. You're on Team Blue. So as you go through there, you are racing Team Orange in a roller coaster style attraction. And overall, it's a lot of fun. It's actually a great roller coaster. I just wish it was a little bit longer. Besides that, I think it's a great roller coaster. But if they just had like 30 more seconds to it, I think it would be like one of the greatest roller coasters that Disney's ever done. Going up against that is going to be another relatively new attraction. It actually came out on May 4th, 2020, with a song called Nothing Can Stop Us Now. And 10 days later, the park closed down for months on end, ironically enough. So something could stop it, and that would be the lockdown. But Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway takes guests into a magical world of Mickey Mouse cartoons, where you are actually invited inside of the cartoon as you try to join, or you're going to take a nice little stroll around the park, but of course things go wrong and you are separated from Goofy, who is our our train engineer. And when we get separated from him, we go through all these different scenes. There are actually 2 different stories going on, by the way, because most people don't realize this. So if you watch the preview, nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. While you are going through there, you can see Pluto goes into the trunk, and then he comes out, and he's got the picnic basket. Every single scene actually has it so Pluto is actually trying to give the picnic basket back to Mickey and Minnie as they're going through their own selfish ways of ignoring him. So when you're actually on the attraction, just go through and try to find, the hidden Pluto through the whole thing. But anyways, we go through, and it is a trackless system and has more hidden Mickeys than any other attraction found in the history of any Disney attraction. And overall, just a great family ride, which is going to bring us to our next vote of the night. Which one would you like to have move on into our next round? Tron Light Cycle Run or Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway? You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. I know which one I would vote for. There's one of these. I do like both of these attractions a lot, but there is one that I do like more than the other one. So, I'm curious which one, because I think both of these have massive fan bases. And I know some people who are like, I love Tron, I love Tron, I love Tron. I'm not a big fan of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And I know people who are like, I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and I'm not a big fan of Tron. So I'm kind of curious, and now I'm like looking at the votes coming in, and I'm not as curious because now I'm starting to see that there is an overwhelming favorite here. It's actually insane how many votes are coming through for the one that I would actually vote for as well. We'll give you guys about 15 more seconds to throw your votes in. We got a lot of people out there right now voting too, and some people are not voting. Right now, our number is you still have about 10 people out there who are watching that are not voting. So if you're watching and not voting, throw your votes into the comments. Okay, let's start tallying this up in about 2 seconds here. Okay, we got 1 vote for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. 2, 3, 4. Right now it's a 4-0 vote. 4-1. Tron gets a vote. 5-1. 6-1. 7-1. 8-1. 9-1. 10-1. 11-1. Mickey, Minnie, love Tron, but too short of a ride. 100% agree with that. I would have personally voted for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway too. And as Matt says here, the Disneyland queue is amazing. Yes. So if you ever go to Disneyland, and even though you want to skip the line, do not skip the line for that one. I skipped getting the lightning lane for that ride specifically because the queue is just unbelievable. So if you've never gone to Disneyland and seen Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway over there, I highly, 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 highly recommend checking it out. Okay, but that's going to bring us into our miscellaneous category where we need 2 numbers from you between 1 and 4. Throw those numbers in there starting right now. The first 2 to pop up are going to be our winners. I'm in such a weird position here. My leg is falling asleep. Okay, first 2 numbers to pop up, 1 through 4. We got number 3 against number... Matt, I know I posted yours, but that was just because the shift or the things. It's number 3 against 1. 3 against 1 is going to be our votes here, or not our votes, but our. Oh, this is funny. Okay. So if you joined us when we first did this bracket, I had people out there who chose which one was going to go or what things were going to be in our miscellaneous category. And when someone said the first option that we're going to talk about here, a lot of people started to realize, oh, miscellaneous can mean a lot of different miscellaneous things. So people started to throw out a lot of different random items. Some things were food related, some things were restaurants, but the 2 most random ones of them all are going to be the 2 that are actually ironically going up head to head against one another. And it actually probably is one of my favorite things. Also, side note, we're back up to 4470. Okay, so let's go to our vote here. So there are a lot of simple pleasures that you can get while you're at Walt Disney World, or if you're at Disneyland, or if you're at Disneyland Paris, or pretty much any Magic Kingdom style park around the world. There is a simple pleasure that you can have that most people around the world can never have unless they actually go inside the park. And it's not an attraction, it's not anything completely fancy. Overall, it's just an experience that if you've ever done it, you truly know how amazing it feels. And not only that, there's actually a song that goes around along with it. And that's not even the thing that we're voting on. We're not voting on the song. However, I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. A walk down Main Street, USA has it so you are completely transported into the magic of entering into the Disney parks. Now, when you first go into the train station, you are supposed to have the grand reveal of Cinderella Castle or Sleeping Beauty Castle or La Dormante de Belle Castle or any other castle around the world. That is supposed to be opened up to you after you go under that train station because it is a grand reveal of walking down Main Street, USA towards the castle. Now, a walk down Main Street, USA is probably one of those things that most people take for granted because when they walk into the park, they are just so eager to get to Peter Pan's Flight or Pirates of the Caribbean or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Space Mountain, Tron, whatever have you. There are so many different experiences that wait for you at the end of Main Street USA. But at the same time, for a lot of people, myself included, when you have that walk down Main Street USA, you just get that overwhelming feeling of, I'm home. I'm here. I'm so happy right now because I am at the Magic Kingdom. And that makes the experience so worthwhile. The sights, the sounds, the smells, everything about walking down Main Street, USA is just indescribable, especially if you're trying to explain it to someone who's never been. They just don't get it until they've actually experienced it. Going up against it is another very unique thing at Disney that most people just don't understand until they actually experience it for themselves. And also, when we talk about Main Street USA, we talked about the sights and the sounds, and we also talked about the smells. This one is specifically a smell. Now, there is a very unique smell found all around Walt Disney World. However, one of the most unique smells in Walt Disney World that is beloved by many, myself included, is the smell of Pirates of the Caribbean. That's right. We were talking about that murky water smell. There's something about the smell that has inspired candles and has also inspired just a love of yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Just the smell of Pirates of the Caribbean is enough to transport you completely into that experience. And it is a created smell specifically for that attraction, which is going to bring us to our next vote. What would you like to have move on to our next round? The smell of Pirates of the Caribbean or walking down Main Street, USA. You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. I'm walking right down the middle of Main Street, USA. You bought the air freshener. See, we got it. I'm not making this up. It actually is a very real thing. This is another one of those that I know a lot of people who like live and die by that smell of Pirates of the Caribbean. Like they are like, that is the greatest smell in the world. And this is actually coming down to a pretty good vote right now. Actually, I see a lot of people from both Facebook and YouTube voting for both of them right now. So I am curious what's going to move on here. You guys still have about 40 seconds left to vote here. We still have a lot of people who are not voting. Right now, we're up to 28 people who are watching between Facebook and YouTube. So if you're one of those people and you've not voted yet for either the Pirates of the Caribbean smell or walking down Main Street USA, throw your vote in right now because otherwise you've got 20 seconds left to throw your votes in. Both very, very unique experiences. And I agree with this one right here. I miss the smell of the Poly. That was a great smell. Walking in there into that lobby when they used to have that waterfall there, that was a great smell as well. There's another unique smell is when you walk into the Land Pavilion. There's a very unique smell to the Land Pavilion. Okay, let's go to our votes. We got one vote for Pirates of the Caribbean, one for Main Street USA, two for Pirates, three for Pirates. Right now it's a 3-1 vote. It is a 3-2 vote, 3-3 vote, 4-3 with Main Street now in the lead, 5-3, 6-3, 6-4, 7-4, 8-4, 9-4. It is a 9-4 vote. Main Street USA is going to be our winner for this round. Wow. Main Street USA. Okay. Let's do one more round here tonight, and this is already chosen by you guys because we only have 2 things left on each category right now. If by the end of this one, if we have gone up to 4,471 subscribers, we will move up and have it so we go into a bonus round. Oh, and that's going to be tough because we just lost another subscriber. Okay, let's go through to our next category, which is going to be movies. This is going to be a interesting one because I have only seen the one movie twice, and I don't remember it extremely well. So let's see how well I remember it. Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya and the Last Dragon came out in 2021, and tells the story of Raya, who is a princess who has discovered the last dragon. Now she is trying to collect the different dragon stones and try to revive the dragons and bring harmony to all of the kingdom. Now, along the way, she has other people who are trying to do the same mission, but they have more evil intentions about it. And so she is on a battle to pretty much save humankind in her country. Going up against Raya and the Last Dragon is a film that came out back in 2010 that told us, it had us asking questions like, when will my life begin? And then, gave us options of, and at last I see the light. By the way, if you remember, I did that little duet of myself singing that song. I showed my niece that the other day, and I don't know if she was proud or scared, but she was definitely something. And overall, in the movie Tangled, we have it so we go through and we have Rapunzel, who is locked up in tower, and Flynn Rider comes to save her. Along the way, we meet other characters like Maximus and Mother Gothel and so many other classic characters. And overall, we've got one of the best musical scores that Disney's ever done, which brings us to our next vote. Which one do you want to move on to our final, or to our next round, not to our final round, into our next round? Would you like it to be Raya and the Last Dragon or Tangled? Throw your votes into the comments right now. You've got about 90 seconds to throw your votes in, starting right now. Have you watched How Disney Built America? I do not have any cable, so I unfortunately have not, because that's on the History Channel. But I don't know why they didn't ask me to be on the show. Like, I've heard a few people who were on it, and one of them has told me multiple times that he thinks that I know more about Disney and Disney's history than he does. And I don't argue with him. And so I'm like, they have this person on the show, but not me. I don't know how those people get selected. So next time, if anyone knows how those people get selected to be on those shows and talk about the history on the History Channel, let me know. I pulled an Oldsmobile out the other night and watched Chicken Little. Forgot how good. That's a good movie. That's a great movie. Okay, you guys have about 20 more seconds to throw your votes in. Again, it's Raya and the Last Dragon or Tangled are the two that are going head to head. I have a feeling that this one could be a shutout, unless my 9-year-old niece is watching, and she was when Raya and the Last Dragon came out. She was a massive fan of that movie, and I felt bad because I couldn't remember most of the characters, and she was like, "Oh, remember this character and this character and this character." And I was like, "Yeah." All right, let's go to our votes here. We got 1 for Tangled, 2 for Tangled, 3 for Tangled, 4. It's a 5-0 vote, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0, 9-0, 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, 13-0. I didn't know he was on it too. Then there's 3 people I know that are on that. The 13-0 vote. It is Tangled. Moving on to our next round here. Okay, so that is going to be wrapping up our show, unless we've gone up to 4,471 subscribers. So drum roll, please. Nope, we are still at that 4,469. So we are going to be wrapping up our show right there. Next week, we'll be coming back and doing another round of this, but we'll be going into a longer show. We'll be back to our 1-hour episode next week. So make sure you join us for that. As always, tonight's episode is sponsored by our Patreon pals. I don't know what that was, but that's our Patreon pal logo for tonight. Thank you, our Patreon pals. Again, if you're a Patreon pal, throw an OE into the chat room. We appreciate every single Patreon pal because if it was not for them, the show might not exist. So, as always, thank you everyone for joining us once again this week. I hope you guys enjoyed our look here. Keep spreading the word. Keep having it so you send your friends over to subscribe and all that other fun stuff. We will be back in Walt Disney World in just a few days. So we will see you back over there. Until then, I hope everyone out there is having a great night. Remember that anything can happen if you let it. Until next time, have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Are, are they gone? Are they gone? Oh, good. My cheeks are just killing me.